I grew up in a small, quiet town that most people would call peaceful. You know the type, where neighbors wave at each other, everyone leaves their doors unlocked, and nothing ever really happens. For the longest time, that's how things were for me and my wife. Just normal. But one day in the mid-'80s, something happened that flipped our world upside down, and it stayed that way for almost a decade. It started simple. We came home one afternoon and found our front door wide open. Cabinets pulled out, drawers dumped onto the floor, like someone had been searching for something. But here's the weird part, nothing was stolen. No money, no electronics, no jewelry. Not even loose change from the counter. We called the police and they basically brushed it off, said it was probably some kids messing around. But something about it didn't sit right with me. I've seen break-ins before, but this didn't feel like that. It felt intentional, like someone wanted us to know they'd been there. Then it happened again, and again, 3 times total. Always the same MO, a mess, no theft, no real damage. And then, nothing, total silence for months. Just when we started to relax a little, it came back, only worse. My wife had just had surgery and was resting at home while I went out to grab some groceries. When I got back, the door was unlocked again. I remember calling her name as I walked in, and when she didn't answer, I got that gut punch feeling you can't ignore. I found her on the floor of the living room. She'd been tied up, gagged, and hit in the head hard enough to leave her bleeding and dazed. She was barely conscious. She told me that a young man had knocked on the door earlier, said his car had broken down nearby, and asked to use the phone. She let him in. He looked clean-cut, polite, soft-spoken, nothing suspicious. After the call, he thanked her and left. But he didn't really leave. He snuck around the back, came in, and attacked her. He didn't steal anything valuable, but he did take some really specific items. Our camera, an old radio scanner, a silver pocket watch that had belonged to my grandfather, and my handgun. And as if that wasn't twisted enough, he left a message, written in crayon, scrawled across the wall like something out of a horror movie. Cheaper, but will do. I still don't know what that meant, but it was clear we were being targeted. The police came again. They took a statement, created a sketch based on my wife's description. Young guy, blonde hair, blue eyes, early 20s. But there were no leads, no fingerprints, no witnesses, nothing. A few weeks later, things got even weirder. The stuff he stole? It started showing up again. One by one, left on our doorstep. The scanner came back first, then the watch, then the camera. All of it placed carefully, almost respectfully, like he wanted us to know he still had access, that he could come and go as he pleased. Eventually, he even returned the gun. Put it right back where it used to be, like it was never gone. We weren't dealing with a thief. We were dealing with someone playing a psychological game. Not long after that, the phone calls started. At first, they were just silent. I'd pick up and hear breathing, long, heavy, like someone just listening. Eventually, the voice came. Low, calm, almost like he was bored. I'm watching you. I know when you sleep. I won't stop until you suffer. We changed our number. Twice. It didn't matter. He always found the new one. Somehow. The calls came at random hours. 2 a.m., 6 p.m., noon. It got to the point where every ring sent my heart racing. We stopped answering altogether. But the silence wasn't much better. I installed motion lights, deadbolts, anything I could think of to make us feel safer. One morning, I found a note taped to the floodlight. Your lights are a laugh. Misspelled, sloppy handwriting. But the message came through loud and clear. He was still watching us, still getting close, still laughing. At night, we'd hear loud bangs on the side of the house. I'd rush out with a flashlight, And of course, no one would be there. The moment I'd go back inside, bam! Another bang. This time, on the opposite side of the house. He was playing with us, taunting us, and there wasn't a damn thing we could do about it. This went on for years. 1987, 1990, 1992. There'd be long stretches of silence. Then suddenly, he'd pop back up, like nothing ever changed. A note, a noise, a phone call. Never enough to get him caught, but always enough to remind us he was still there. What made it worse is that he never escalated again. Not like the first time. He didn't try to break in, didn't hurt us again. For years. He just haunted us. Like he was feeding off our fear. And people started talking. Some folks, even police, started wondering if I was behind it, that I was making it all up. Attention-seeking, mental breakdown, you name it. But no one who really knew us believed that. Not my sons, not my friends. They saw what we were going through. No one fakes terror for 10 straight years. And then, in the fall of '93, it got physical again. I left the house for maybe an hour to grab some parts for the car. When I came back, my wife was on the floor, beaten, bruised, bleeding from the face. She survived, barely, and that was the last straw. I called my 2 sons, a couple nephews, and some family friends. We set up a full stakeout. 6 of us camped out inside the house that night. Walkie-talkies, baseball bats, shotguns. Everyone took a corner of the house. We waited. All night. Nothing. By midnight, we figured maybe he knew. Maybe the extra cars gave it away. Everyone started to relax. Then, around 3 a.m., 3 loud knocks, right on the front door. We all jumped up. I ran to the door and flung it open. No one. Just a single piece of paper, taped to the screen. Get the message. That was the last time we ever heard from him. No more calls. No more notes. No more knocks. After 10 years, he just disappeared. We never found out who he was. The sketch didn't lead anywhere. No one was ever arrested. We didn't even have a real suspect. To this day, I still don't know why he picked us, why he let it go on so long, or why he stopped. But I'll tell you this, I've never felt safe again. Not really. Even now, years later, I still jump when the phone rings unexpectedly. I still check the locks twice every night. And sometimes, I still wake up in the middle of the night, convinced someone's outside. I'll never forget that feeling, being hunted by someone you can't see, can't predict, and can't stop. Someone who wasn't after your things. They were after you.